Next, we need to create the orders entity and related um, REST endpoints. So I'm going to first create the order entity, and let me provide the fields according to our ER diagram. First order ID, then order date, order description, order status, order price, and order customer ID. So the first field is order ID of type long, and then uh, order date of type local date. Next, order description. And for the order status, actually the type of order status should be status, because we already have a entity with the type of status. So we need to use that as the type of the field for the order status. Before that, let me create the order price field of type double. And the next field is order customer ID. So this should associate with the customer ID from the customer service microservice. So for now, I'm going to add a comment there, and later we will work on that. So other fields have now completed in the order entity. So let me annotate this order entity with at entity annotation first, and then let's uh, let's annotate with the Lombok annotations. And I'm going to give the table name as orders. And at ID annotation, then at generated value annotation with the generation type of identity, so that whenever a record of order is created, the order ID will be generated automatically. And the column name I can give for the order ID field as order underscore ID. Similarly, for other column, other fields also, I'm going to give the column names. For the order date field, the column name will be order underscore date. For the order description field, the column name will be order underscore description. And for the order price, the column name will be order underscore price. So next we'll work on this order status field. So there is a one-to-many relationship between the statuses and orders uh, tables. So one status can have many orders, but one order should have only one status. So that's what this relationship shows in our ER diagram. So we need to denote that in our entity. So I'm going to create a field with status as the data type, and I will give the name for the field as order status. And I can annotate it with many to one annotation in the order entity, because we have that many to one relationship in the order side, many orders can have one status. So that's indicated by at many to one annotation. I'm going to give the cascade as cascade type merge for now, and at join column annotation we can give the name of the column of this side first. With the name I can give order underscore status, and I can give the reference column name as status underscore ID, because that's the primary key of the status entity. That's the column which is referring by this order status. And I'm giving the nullable as false, because this should be not null. And in the status entity also we can denote this relationship. So one status can have many orders. Because of that, I'm going to add a set of order entities. And the field name I can give as orders. And also we can create as a hash set, initialize it as to a empty hash set. And this end we can annotate it with at one to many annotation, and mapped by we can give the value as to which field that we are going to map in the order side. So that's order status. Also, I'm using at JSON igno annotation, so that in the payload of this status, orders will not be show in the payload. Next, we can create the repository for order. So let's create the order repository interface, which extends the JPA repository. And in the generic, we need to pass the order as the first parameter and long as the second parameter. And also we need to create the DTO, order DTO, with the same fields as the fields that we used in the order entity. And for the status, we can use the status DTO as the type because we are in the order DTO. Let's add the same comment to the order DTO. So we can add the customer ID later. And I'm going to add the Lombok annotations next. Okay. In the status DTO, now we can add a list with the type of order DTO, and I can give the name as orders, field name as orders. Just like we had the same relationship in the status and orders, here we can denote it in the status DTO as well. So instead of list, I will give the set because we did the same thing in the status entity. Next, we can create the order service interface. I'm going to add the methods in the order service interface. So the first method I'm going to define is create order, which returns an object of order DTO, and that takes a parameter of order DTO as well. So these methods we can implement in the order service IMPL class. So the next method I'm going to define is get all orders. So this will return a list of order DTO objects, and it will not take any arguments or any parameters. The third method is update order, actually get order by ID. So this order will take one parameter of type long, which is the order ID, and it will return an object of order DTO. The next method is update order. That method will take two parameters. One is the order DTO object, and the second parameter is the order ID, which is of type long, and that will return an object of order DTO. And finally, the delete order method with void as the return type, and which takes one parameter of type long, that is order ID. Next, I'm going to create the order service IMPL class, which implements this order service interface. Simply, we can click the implement methods to implement all these methods. And I'm going to inject, I'm going to annotate it with at service annotation. Then I'm going to inject the order repository first. Also, we need to inject the model mapper as well. Inside the create order method, first we need to convert the order DTO object to an order object using model mapper. After that, we can call the order repository and the save method of the order repository, and we can pass the order object, which will then return the saved order. After that, the saved order, we need to use the model mapper again to convert the saved order to an order DTO object, and after that we can return it. Next method is get all orders method. In this, we can call the find all method of order repository, which will return a list of order entities. Then we can use the stream and then the map method. Inside the map method, we can call the map model mapper and the map method of model mapper to convert every order object into a order DTO object, and after that we can use the collect method to return a list. In the next method, we are going to use again order repository and the find by ID method this time by passing order ID as the argument, and this time we can use the or else throw method, and if there is no valid order found with this order ID, we can simply return a new resource not found exception by passing a message order with ID does not exist. And if it finds a valid order, we can simply assign that order into the found order variable. After that, we can use the model mapper again to return that found order as a order DTO object. Inside the update order method, we will have to again call the find by ID method of order repository. And after that, if we find any order for that order ID, we can simply set the values for that found order using the order DTO object values. We have to set all the values like order date, order description, order status, when we set the order status, we have to first convert that order status into a using the model mapper, because order DTO will return a order status DTO object. So we have to convert that order status DTO object into a status object. So the status DTO objects need to be converted to the status object first. Then we can use the set order price also to set the order price from the order DTO. Okay, all the setters I think we have called except the order ID. We don't need to call the order ID. Next, we can call the save method of the order repository, and we can pass this found order to that save method. So it will save, it will update the order in the database. Once it's updated, it will return the updated order back. So we can take it into the updated order variable. After that, we will need to use the model mapper again to convert that returned order object to a order DTO object. The next method is delete order method. So I'm going to simply copy the find by ID method call from the previous method, because we need to first check whether this order exists in the database before going to delete it. And if it does not return any exception, then we can go ahead and call the delete by ID method of the order repository by passing the order ID. So we have completed the service layer, and yeah, so next we can go to the controller layer.